Not at all. He was really caught between a rock and a hard place here, Mike. On the one hand, he did campaign on improving relations with Russia, and on the other, sanctions had overwhelming support from U.S. lawmakers, making it very unlikely that they could have that any presidential veto would not have been overridden by those senators and congressmen.
U.S. President Donald Trump made one public appearance Wednesday, and it was not to sign the bill to sanction Russia's defense and energy sectors, which also targets Iran and the DPRK.
The yeas are 98, the nays are 2. The bill is passed.
Instead, Trump released two statements on why a measure passed overwhelmingly by the U.S. Congress is, quote, seriously flawed, particularly because it encroaches on the executive branch's authority to negotiate. This bill will drive China, Russia, and North Korea much closer together.
The president favors tough measures to punish and deter the bad behavior of the rogue regimes in Iran and North Korea, and he also sent a clear signal that we won't tolerate interference in our democratic process by Russia.
The Trump administration came into office promising better relations with Moscow, but faced with a series of bipartisan investigations into ties between the White House and the Kremlin during his presidential campaign and intelligence assessments that Moscow actively meddled in the 2016 presidential election, Trump had little choice but to support the sanctions.
The action by the Congress to put these sanctions in place in the way they did, neither the president nor I are very happy about that. We were clear that we didn't think it was going to be helpful to our efforts.
Even before Trump's signature, Russian President Vladimir Putin expelled hundreds of American diplomats and seized 2 U.S. compounds in Russia. The Kremlin appears to be losing hope of improved ties with Washington.
Those who invented this bill, if they were thinking that they might change our policy, they were wrong, as history many times proved. They should have known better that we do not bend or do not break.
But Brussels is now on board, with European Commission President Jean-Claude Juncker saying late changes made by the U.S. Congress allayed EU concerns that European companies doing business with Moscow might get penalized.
And Mike, Trump's chief concern with all of this was the loss of presidential power. Congress will now have to review any White House effort to soften these sanctions going forward. But President Trump's critics worry that his very public stance against these sanctions could still weaken Washington's hand when it comes to dealing with Moscow. Mike?